Hey, all you Golden Eagles, you're listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. I'm your Tuesday, Thursday show host, Skylar Angus Barker. We've got a special show coming up with some Mississippi moments and some news wraps for you to enjoy. And don't touch that dial because we have some student leaders here that will share some things that you don't want to miss. You're listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio.
Southern Miss Student Media, SM2, presents the 2025 Southern Miss Student Media Open House, Tuesday, October 7th from 4 to 6 p.m. on the 3rd floor of College Hall on the USM campus. Come and see the different divisions of Southern Miss Student Media. See how we can help you spread the word about your business through the different media outlets operated by Southern Miss Student Media. Stop by sm2media.com under About and RSVP to register to win advertising packages from SM2. The 2025 Southern Miss Student Media Open House, Tuesday, October 7th from 4 to 6 p.m. on the 3rd floor of College Hall. See you there. Since 1927, the Student Prince has been a direct conduit to USM students. Get your share of the more than $600 million USM brings into South Mississippi by advertising your business or service in the Student Prince. To find out more about how to advertise in the Student Prince, email sm2sales@usm.edu.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. For the open house, we have our USM campus news. Southern Miss cuts ribbon on renovated fresh food company, showcases bold new look. Eagle Dining has celebrated the renovation of the fresh food company at the University of Southern Mississippi yesterday. It's got a bold new look, expanded menu offerings, and immersive dining experiences. This renovation was $6.1 million and refurbished the space with sleek interiors, updated seating, and expanded dining options. Charlie Dorza, district manager of Eagle Dining, had this to say, quote, "This renovation is more than a facelift. It's a full-on transformation. We've created a space that's vibrant, inclusive, and reflective of the energy and pride of USM. We can't wait for everyone to experience it." End quote. Allison Easterwood, USM Vice President for Finance and Administration, had this to say, quote, "This renovation represents a major update, not only in the appearance of the dining hall, but also in the way it functions for our students. The design opens the floor space, brightens the atmosphere with new lighting and color palettes, and provides a fresh, modern environment where our students can gather, enjoy meals, and build community." End quote. In Hattiesburg news, Laurel Housing Authority gets national recognition for Visitor Center. The Laurel Housing Authority has been recognized for its work in community partnerships for the Laurel Jones County Visitor Centers. Laurel Housing Authority Executive Director Alaric Young had this to say, quote, "It is a very unique design, and all that credit is due to the local architect, Michael McKinnon. He was able to incorporate the materials that we were able to salvage out of old buildings. He just highlighted that partnership and what this center means to this area. And again, just highlights the partnership that we have. Some of those plans include bringing additional affordable housing. Some projects that we're looking at to acquire, build, and redevelop some housing in other areas." End quote. In national news, Illinois files a lawsuit to block Trump deploying the National Guard, joining Oregon. After Oregon has issued a lawsuit towards the Trump administration, Illinois and the city of Chicago are doing the same over its effort to deploy the National Guard in the state. They are working to block the administration from sending the National Guard to Illinois. U.S. District Judge Karen J. Immergut states the following, quote, I am extremely troubled by now hearing that both California and Texas are being sent to Oregon, which appears to be a direct contradiction of my order, end quote. The Illinois Attorney General's office wrote the following, quote, the American people, regardless of where they reside, should not live under the threat of occupation by the United States military, particularly not simply because their city or state leadership has fallen out of a president's favor. End quote. White House spokeswoman Abigail Jackson responded to the lawsuit by stating, quote, amidst ongoing violent riots and lawlessness, that local leaders like Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker have failed to step in to quell, President Trump has exercised his lawful authority to protect federal officers and assets. President Trump will not turn a blind eye to the lawlessness plaguing American cities, end quote. We'll be right back with sports and weather after a word from our sponsors.
Southern Miss Student Media, SM2, presents the 2025 Southern Miss Student Media Open House, Tuesday, October 7th from 4 to 6 p.m. on the third floor of College Hall on the USM campus. Come and see the different divisions of Southern Miss Student Media. See how we can help you spread the word about your business through the different media outlets operated by Southern Miss Student Media. Stop by sm2media.com under About and RSVP to register to win advertising packages from SM2. The 2025 Southern Miss Student Media Open House, Tuesday, October 7th from 4 to 6 p.m. on the third floor of College Hall. See you there.
Hello, I'm Dr. Ed Simpson from the USM School of Media and Communication. Join myself and Dr. Brent Hale as we walk through current events and their impact on the greatest people in the world, USM students. The show is called News You Need, and it airs Friday afternoons on Southern Miss Radio at 12:30. You can also catch it streaming on the Southern Miss Student Media YouTube channel. Hear how USM students are navigating through life and how news events shape their lives and their futures. That's News You Need, Fridays at 12:30 on Southern Miss Radio. Won't you join us?
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Now on for your sports. Volleyball outlasts Arkansas State in 5-set thriller. Our Southern Miss volleyball team battled through a back-and-forth match to earn a 5-set victory over Arkansas State on Saturday afternoon inside First National Bank Arena. Let's go, Eagles. To keep up with all the Golden Eagle sports activities, head on over to southernmiss.com. Now on for your weather. It looks like today will be mostly cloudy with isolated showers and thunderstorms with highs in the mid-80s and lows in the upper 60s. It looks like we might have some fog tonight, so be careful if you're on the road this evening. It is currently 82 degrees with our humidity at a whopping 78% and our wind at 1 mile per hour. Up next, we have Jim Swagger struggling to carry the 20-pound Browning automatic rifle across Europe. Check it out.
This is Mississippi Moments, produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage at the University of Southern Mississippi and supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. I'm Bill Ellison. The Browning automatic rifle was a light machine gun used extensively by Allied forces during World War II. Jim Swagger recalls the challenge of lugging the 20-pound weapon across Europe.
When I went to France, I went to the 103rd Infantry. First thing they do, they set you up to see the captain. And he said, I think we're going to make a machine gunner out of you. I said, no, sir. I said, I don't know anything about no machine gun. He knew how to lie. I'd go there and break it. He said, well, here, says, take this BR, so we'll show you how to shoot it. So it's Browning automatic rifle. And it weighed somewhere around, I think around 20 pounds, maybe 21 pounds. Pretty good load to carry, you know, plus 14, 15 pounds of ammunition. And I kept that BR. And I hated that thing. I just weighed 130 pounds. And I was carrying all that load, I say. They look for those BRs because, see, a BR is just like a machine gun. And they'd like to put them out of action. They say the average combat life of a BR in an action is about 2.5 minutes.
To learn more, subscribe to the Mississippi Moments podcast or visit cohch.org. Mississippi Moments is supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. The humanities are for everyone.
That was our Mississippi Moments. Coming up, we've got some special guests that you don't want to miss.
Southern Miss Student Media, SM2, presents the 2025 Southern Miss Student Media Open House, Tuesday, October 7th from 4 to 6 p.m. on the third floor of College Hall on the USM campus. Come and see the different divisions of Southern Miss Student Media. See how we can help you spread the word about your business through the different media outlets operated by Southern Miss Student Media. stop by sm2media.com under About and RSVP to register to win advertising packages from SM2. The 2025 Southern Miss Student Media Open House, Tuesday, October 7th from 4 to 6 p.m. on the 3rd floor of College Hall. See you there. Since 1927, the Student Prince has been a direct conduit to USM students. Get your share of the more than $600 million USM brings into South Mississippi by advertising your business or service in the Student Prince. To find out more about how to advertise in the Student Prince, email sm2sales@usm.edu.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. We've got a very special guest today. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. It's Huey Turledge over here at the School of Media and Communication with SM2. How's it going?
Hello, hello, hello. So you already kind of, I'm sure most of the people in the communications building already know you, but just in case for anyone who's listening, can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Okay, so I am the current graduate student for the School of Media and Communication. I do their social media, and then I'm also with SM2. So I run the school social media. I do a lot of our public relations. I run our ambassador team.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I guess, head of PR over here. Usually, any event that goes on, Huey is somewhere in the mix,
Right.
if not at the top of the mix, trying to get everything ready and set up. But yeah, it's me and Vivian over here just, working. We got the best teams we could ask for, so
Yeah.
kind of just working here. Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier about how really how involved you are, because your phone is the one that's currently being passed around right now as
It's
the
the live
camera
right
for the
now,
live
yeah.
stream. Yeah.
Yeah, so if anybody's actually watching our live, which you should be, because why not have fun with us? Because we're actually pretty legit.
Yeah.
We're legit. That's kind of the basic of it.
No, yeah.
Basis of it. But yeah, no, I'm definitely here. I'm actually about to leave in December, which is kind of bittersweet.
Yeah. How do you feel
It's
about
coming
that?
to an end. I don't know. I've been here for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And I kind of just came in and I was like, let me get involved and see what I can do. And then I came and got my master's, and now I'm finishing up that. So I just got to finish that thesis and maybe the other 2 papers I've got to write, but we're not going to talk about that.
No, I get
Let's
that.
get to the bright stuff. Let's get
Right,
to the bright
right,
stuff.
right. Can you give us a look at what an average day looks like for you?
Average day for me. Well, I'm a little chaos. So I'm chaos in
Yeah.
general. I think life just works that way.
Yeah.
But no, I usually wake up, start reading, keeping up with the news. I do work for a newspaper, and I help lead a team of MMJs. So I'm there to collect the data and collect what's going on, because I also I need to know what's going on, because this is our America.
Yeah.
So I usually get up, get some news consumption, which is not always the best, drink my coffee, and then I head into the school. I usually try to hit SM2 up, and I make sure everything's good in the office.
Yeah.
For a normal day, every bi-weekly, I do the communication station, if anybody looks at that. But I usually go around, talk to everybody, see what's going on in each division, see what we need to be sharing, what we need to be spreading.
Right.
And I do a little bit of research on that. Pinning emails is a big thing I've learned that actually helps, because a lot of events will be put out, and I usually just collect those to make sure that I can send them out once more in the communication station. And then create social media, make sure whatever I'm actually putting in the communication station is also getting to the Instagram page.
Yeah.
So that's pretty time manageable, I
Yeah,
guess.
it
And
sounds
then
like it.
I was designing the Student Prince for the last year, but with me leaving, this semester I took over and started training some individuals. So I did that a little bit, which they took it and they ran with it. So congrats to Cadence and Suvi. They're handling that. So I just do the last overview and just make sure everything's ready to go to print. But that's about a normal day.
Yeah, so just as a little snippet, like a little small thing, especially being so involved in the news that's happening in our current climate, in our current government, how do you detox from that?
Detox. What? Well, maybe a crash out here and there, but they're usually manageable. It's usually just me sitting there like, okay, there are still good things that are happening. So then I have to flip a script and I have to look at all the good stuff that's out there, because even the smallest of things, like I ran across one of these people, they got a B- on a class project, and it's a kid with cerebral palsy, and it's a hot sauce. And I've just been watching his business, his advertising grow, and it just makes me see the good in the world, that everything is not bad, and we still have these good things. So that's usually my detox. It's still news, obviously, because the news doesn't sleep. So I guess I'm just always focused on something, consumption of something.
Right.
So I just try to switch over and make sure that some of the stuff is good, try to, break away from all the negative. Because, there's always negative. It's always going to have something bad happening. I mean, it's the universe. They love to throw stuff at us.
You are right on that. So just to close out, what would you like to say to our listeners who are thinking about joining SM2?
If you have a passion for storytelling, you will enjoy it. A lot of people hear that writing is scary, but it's your power. You can sit here and tell a story in writing that other people get to enjoy. It's more than just, I'm reporting on this event. There are so many things that can be investigated, can be looked into, things that make change. Like journalists right now have the power to step up and step out and cover the things that matter and talk to the people that are going to be affected by these things and let them know, we're here, let's talk about it, let's get it out in the open, because debate is not a bad thing. Yeah. It's supposed to be allowed to sit here and let's talk about what we think's going on. Let's look at the facts, look at some things together, and let's just talk. Let's just talk about it.
Right, absolutely.
But yeah, okay, that's my rant for the day.
Well, thank you so much, Yuri, for coming on and being a voice for our Eagles. We've got looks to be Kennedy Drake reporting on a new fire alert system, so check that out.
The Hattiesburg Fire Department will implement a new alert system to enhance firefighter safety and well-being.
Currently, all of the fire stations are notified together, causing wake-ups and excessive excitement for calls that maybe are only needing 2 or 3 people at a time.
This new system will notify each fire station independently. It will alert only the stations needed for each emergency call. The alert system will reduce unnecessary disruptions and allow firefighters to rest, something that Assistant Chief Carr says is important based off of professional studies.
The studies have shown that the constant awakening is detrimental to your health, and therefore this system will eliminate some of that unnecessary waking.
The project is funded by the Forest County Emergency Management and will cost more than $97,000. Spencer Taylor, Station 1 B Shift Captain, says waking up multiple times at night can leave firefighters sleep deprived.
Just your cortisol levels, your blood pressure, all the stress levels that inherently are on the body that you may not know. Hopefully with these studies and everything that's showing, it's going to help kind of alleviate some of that.
Assistant Fire Chief Chris Carr says the new alert system won't affect how quickly firefighters respond, but it will help protect their health over time.
It's not going to have any effect on the ability of the fire department to provide services, and the public will not notice a decrease in services or personnel on their call.
The new alert system is expected to be installed by the end of the year. Fire officials say it's another step toward improving both firefighter health and performance while maintaining quality service for Hattiesburg residents. Kennedy Drake, WUSM.
Sponsorship comes from Southern Beverage, your local Michelob Ultra distributor. Michelob Ultra has significantly fewer carbs and calories per serving if you are watching those in your diet. You can reach Southern Beverage by phone at 601-268-9111, or you can find them on the internet at southernbeverage.com. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri, and Southern Beverage ask you to please drink responsibly.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Now we have another very, very special guest. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hey y'all, I'm Vivian Cookmeyer. I am the content director and one of the grad assistants for SM2. I work with lots of students.
Right.
Primarily the multimedia journalists, but I also work on making sure that all the divisions are kind of connected when it comes to content as well.
Right, okay. And you already kind of stated what you do at SM2. Is that how do you rate that on difficulty scale? Is that something that's almost overwhelming for you sometimes, or?
Some days it can be overwhelming. Yeah. There's a lot of moving parts up here, but I love working with the students. I care about every student in there, and I care about SM2 a lot, so it's all worth it at the end of the day. There has been lots of long nights here, though. I think not just for me, though, for a lot of the other students as well. So,
okay. And what brought you to SM2?
So actually, I graduated in 2022 with my undergrad here in PR and advertising, and I had heard about SM2 and had a lot of friends that were in SM2.
Yeah.
But because I wasn't a journalist, I was kind of scared to come up here.
Yeah.
And when I applied for grad school, I got a grad assistantship, and they had assigned me to work with SM2 for part of my assistantship.
I see. Okay.
And so there was a lot of changes. They had kind of really formed the content division as its own separate thing for the first time. And so they created a new position for me, assignments editor. And I was in charge of assigning the stories for the journalist and putting it all in our system, kind of like project management, essentially. And then it just blossomed into more. So I have been in charge of the MMJs this semester. And I work closely with the other student leaders to make sure that content is ready for each division, especially when it comes to SMTV and the student prints, making sure that content is ready for them each week. So
Right. Okay. And like you're overall like a grad student. So like how would you rate your experience as a grad student? Because like I'm sure that a lot of undergraduates that are listening are not even considering going to higher education than that.
So I think a lot of people, especially here, they end up going straight into grad school, which is perfectly fine. I didn't do that. I was ready to go out into the world. And in PR and advertising, you don't have to have a higher degree than that. So I was like, I'll be fine. You know, life changes, life events happen, and I thought, you know, why not go back? So, you know, I kind of have a different perspective from most students, but I really am happy that I did. Has it been overwhelming? Yes. Is grad school completely different than undergrad? 100%.
Right.
But it's been worth it. And I think that I'll come out in May when I graduate and have a lot more skills that I didn't have before, especially working with student media. I mean, I don't have a broadcast background, but I could tell you a lot of information about broadcast and even radio or prints writing and things like that, just from the experience that I've gained here.
Absolutely. So overall, with you juggling life as like just a normal person and then also a grad student and then also having this position at SM2, what does an average day look like for you?
And I'm laughing because it's just wild.
Yeah.
An average day is me up here. Unless I'm in class, I'm up in the newsroom. I'm pretty much live up there, and I leave later in the day than I used to. But I have a lot of meetings every week, whether that's with faculty advisors or that's with students. Another part of my job is working with the school ambassadors to promote the school and everything we have to offer in general, not just student media. Huey and I work together with that. So that's another factor. I have meetings with them as well. We have pitch meetings on Fridays. That's where everybody pitches their stories. We work with doing events on campus and stuff. So lots of moving parts, and I'm in College Hall 90% of my week. So.
Right. Absolutely. And do you have like a favorite part about SM2 or no?
No, I'm just kidding. My favorite part of SM2 is getting to see the students who are just starting their careers really get to develop their skills and watching their improvement as the semesters go on. A lot of our MMJs were here last semester, and we all were kind of in it together, like in the trenches trying to learn. But this semester they've really flourished, and you can see their storytelling skills really being adapted and growing. And then we also have newer students who are learning with them at the same time and really picking up the pace and catching up to speed with where they are. So I'm really proud of them, and that's my favorite part, is working with them.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and providing a voice for Eagles.
Yeah, thank you.
Coming up, we've got SM2 reports on, it looks like Mobile's Saint Fest, I believe. Check it out.
The streets of downtown Hattiesburg were occupied this weekend, yet not with traffic, but with a celebration.
The Mobile Street Festival is a cultural heritage festival that was started to bring attention to a community that was in decline.
And what better way to bring the community back together to showcase all of what Mobile Street was known for?
Entertainment district during segregation in Hattiesburg, and you had great gospel music, great blues, and businesses that were located on Mobile Street. So we wanted to bring that attention back. So we decided to start out with a festival 20 years ago.
Once a thriving hub for Black-owned businesses, Mobile Street's legacy still echoes through these blocks. History that isn't just remembered, but also celebrated. Within the past 20 years, the festival has been able to bring the community together through music, food trucks, street vendors, and more. According to attendee Sabir Abdul-Wahab, being here creates quite the feeling.
I feel really excited. It feels really good to be working in the Hattiesburg community, as a part of the Mobile Street community, as a part of the greater Hattiesburg community, and really engaging with folks, seeing what's on people's minds, having conversations, and really just enjoying the energy. I just feel really inspired.
Inspiration that will leave a lasting legacy throughout the Hattiesburg community. Kiara Fox, SMTV News.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. We have our third special guest coming up. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Cadence Renfro, and I'm the student leader of the Student Prince.
Awesome. So you already kind of told us a little bit about like what you do, but just to go a little bit into the nitty-gritty, what exactly do you do at SM2?
So I oversee basically all of the newspaper.
Yeah.
I will get the stories, like edit the paper. We got a few people who help in the prints as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of like I go out and deliver them as well. So like if you see a paper on campus, chances are almost 100% that
that you delivered it.
Yeah.
So how did you get involved with SM2?
So I actually started out here in the radio.
Okay.
I had come to a show for one of Dr. Simpson's News You Need.
Yeah.
And so that was my first introduction. And then over, I think a semester later, I was like, I really want to get involved, but I'm not exactly sure how. And I got an email from Dr. Martin about there being a position open in the radio. I was like, let me just do it and see. Yeah. And I've loved it since. I mean, I found so many new friends that I would not have met without joining this organization.
Right. And are you an undergraduate or are you a graduate student?
I'm a senior undergraduate.
Senior? Wow.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Old. I feel old. Not too old. I mean, I'm only 21, but old.
Is this like your last semester?
No, next semester will be my last semester. So I graduate in May.
I see. So with you juggling being a part of SM2 and you being a student, what does an average day look like for you?
It typically looks like me going in the morning to classes and then working in that late afternoon or working in the morning and then dealing with class stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I switch it up, but it's usually like classwork.
Yeah. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's mainly you do focus on classwork first and then you're able to do your job.
Mm-hmm.
And what's your favorite part about SM2, if you could pick? I know like with some people it's like trying to pick like their favorite child. So like it might be difficult, but
honestly, part of it, I think my favorite part is like seeing what we put out, like how it affects people.
Yeah.
Like I know one of my favorite things when like delivering the newspapers is that I also get to pick up the old ones and see which spots like people have been finding them at and like taking them, and that like always warms my heart. It's like, oh, like they're reading the paper, like they read it so much that there's not even any here. Like
I love that. Is there like, if you know at the top of your head, and it's completely fine if you don't, but is there like a specific location on campus where there's like most newspapers are taken, or is it kind of like equally out?
It's usually in the THAD.
Okay.
We have, I want to say like 3 or 4 spots around, just around the THAD. Usually that's that's where people are getting the most. And then also by the parking garage, I've noticed.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, those have been the biggest spots that I've seen.
I mean, I guess it makes like a lot of sense because the THAD is where like the Fresh is, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like I'm sure that some people might be like eating and reading the paper, which sounds like such a dated thing now. But like, yeah.
We bring them out to the community as well. So like we bring them out to Ed's, Crescent City.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think where else.
Take your time.
T-Bones as well has them.
Okay.
And those three I know for sure have them. And I see it at Ed's a lot. I go there a lot.
Yeah.
But I see like a lot of people like picking them up, like not even just students, like other people in our community. And that's always really fun to see, like that our work that we create here is just being put out into like the bigger community and they're eating it up. Like,
Right. I love that. I love that. And just for a closing question, what would you like to say to our listeners who are thinking about joining SM2?
I would say do it. Just take a deep dive into it because you'll meet so many amazing people that have just great abilities, who have such creative minds and are very, very intelligent people.
Right.
And I think you just also like start connecting with people that you wouldn't think that you would connect with.
Yeah.
Like it has just been, I just would recommend it to like anybody.
Yeah. Well, all right. Thank you so much for coming on and providing a voice for our Eagles. And it looks like we have Stephanie Perez Munoz reporting on the Hispanic Heritage Month, so check that out.
Hispanic Heritage Month is a month where people are given a chance to learn and celebrate the contributions of Hispanic and Latin cultures. There are events across the country, but many have been canceled or postponed due to immigration concerns. However, in Hattiesburg, Vice President of the Mississippi Latinx Art Association, Jacqueline Gonzalez Wooten, says she and her team still wanted to host their event in different areas downtown.
We hired some musicians to come and play in different locations in town, and they were going to play music that was Latino inspired.
Despite the immigration concerns, she feels that it is important to show the value of the Latino community here in Hattiesburg.
You need to be out there expressing what your culture is, and we need other people to be able to, help. And so, I think now more than ever, we think now more than ever that we need to continue doing that.
Grad student Arely Orozco sees this month as a way to celebrate her and her family's accomplishments.
I have achieved what my parents' idea of the American dream was. It's a moment to recognize their achievements during this time.
Orozco is not from Mississippi and noticed that there was not many Latinos here, but is happy that there was an event held for Latinos. I'm Stephanie Perez Munoz with SMTV.
Southern Miss Radio is home to Don Rodney Radio's Rhythm and Blues Show.
WUSM, Southern Miss Radio 88.5, Don Rodney Radio's Rhythm and Blues Show. Another summertime song. I love this.
Don Rodney Radio spotlights the composers and performers of Mississippi Delta blues, such as Charlie Patton, Mississippi John Hurt, Robert Johnson, and more. Here on Southern Miss Radio, Sundays from noon until 2.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Now we have our final special guest today. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Adeline Fields. I'm the program director here at WUSM. I think we're just going to be talking about what we do here at the radio station, which you're listening to right now.
Yeah, absolutely. WSM 88.5. So you already mentioned that you're the program director.
Yes.
For WSM. Is there anything else that you do for SM2, or is it just mainly your nest is like the radio station?
Oh, this is my full time what I do here at SM2. I'm putting everything into this.
Right.
Yeah.
And how would you feel about your experiences of being a part of WSM and being the program director? I mean, like it sounds like you would have like a lot on your shoulders.
It's a lot at times, but I love it. I'm still here for a reason.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. It's definitely a lot, but I work with a lot of really great people. My team, you guys.
Thank you.
Y'all support me really well, and I couldn't do my job without you guys at all. Y'all are absolutely what makes my job possible.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So what I do is I work with our MMJs to create our news wraps, which you've heard a few of, I think, in the past hour.
Yeah.
They've been totally killing it. They're doing a great job with those. And then I manage our Southern Miss Today team, and I make sure that everything is running right. So making sure everybody's on top of what they need to be on top of. But that's never really an issue with you guys. You know, y'all
That's good.
Y'all do a great job. And then I work with the other divisions, student leaders, and we make sure that everything's running smoothly. You know, we'll have our StratCom division working to get sponsors or ads, and then they say, hey, we have this organization that wants to put an ad on radio. Can we do that? And so I'll kind of help put them in touch with the right people to get that done.
Okay, awesome. So with you, are you an undergraduate student or are you a graduate student?
Yeah,
or?
I'm a sophomore. Undergrad.
Ooh, how do you like your time so far at USM?
I love it. It's been great.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, cool. What does an average day look like for you being a student and also being the program director?
So usually I go to class in the morning. I usually have one morning class and one afternoon class. And in between, I'll do office hours. I'll work on editing audio for the radio. I always have 1,000 emails to answer with this. And sometimes I'll go in the newsroom office, and I'll be there to help answer any questions that come up as people are working on things. And then a lot of times after my afternoon class, I'll come back for an hour or two. I'll work on some more stuff to get on the air for the next day or week or whatever.
Okay, awesome. And do you have a favorite part about SM2, or is it like, because like with some people, it's like trying to like pick their favorite child, and it's unable to like, they're unable to like pick one. But do you have a favorite part?
I think so. So, I mean, of course, I love the technical aspect. I'm a sound and recording arts major, so I like working in Adobe Audition and with the DAW software and editing audio and stuff. But I think more than anything, I like the people that I work with. I think all of y'all are great. It makes it, very nice place to work several hours a day. So
that's great.
Yeah.
It would be very insufferable if the people here were unable to like click well and stuff.
Yeah, we've got a great group. I think we have a really good culture up here on the 3rd floor.
Yeah, awesome. And just as a closing question, what would you like to say to our listeners who are thinking about joining SM2?
Do it, guys. Join. Fill out our form on sm2media.com. There's an interest form there. It'll send it to everybody in charge in SM2. They'll point you in the right direction. We'll figure out what a good place is for you. But there's a good place for everybody here. Like we have something for everyone, every skill level. You don't have to have experience. Just take the leap.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for providing a voice for our Eagles today for this open house event. We finally have our last news wrap, which is Tyshawn Hobson reporting on Trey Reed's vigil. Check it out.
Students, family, and community members grew still Thursday evening at the University of Southern Mississippi as candlelights glowed in remembrance of Trey Reed. Trey Reed was a 21-year-old Black Delta State student who was found hanging from a tree on campus. USM student Madison Mosley said the candlelight symbolizes how quickly a life can disappear.
Trey's life got taken from him, and so I feel like it really symbolizes life and how much we actually take it for granted because it's so fragile and you only get one.
The Centennial Garden located on campus glowed as many gathered for prayers, speeches, and a moment of silence. The vigil was hosted by USM NAACP chapter here on campus. Brilliant Terrell, a board member, said there was no big agenda behind this event, but only with the hope of sending unity.
So I hope that it sends a message of unity. As unfortunate as it is, with great loss comes great unification after that loss. And I hope that we can come together and just be unified as a people. We don't really have an agenda for this meeting per se. We just wanted people to come and feel those raw emotions that comes with loss.
Jalen Stature, a senior at the University of Southern Miss, said every moment during the vigil meant a lot to him.
I can't really just pinpoint one specific moment. All of it meant a lot to me because having all this big of a turnout and everybody coming here on the same goals and the same ideas, it really spoke a lot to me.
I'm Tyshawn Hobson with WUSM.
And that's a wrap on our Southern Miss Today broadcast for our Fall 2025 Student Media Center Open House. We'd like to extend a huge thanks to everyone who came out tonight, as well as all of our sponsors who made this event special. Huge thanks to Seb Hodges and Cardell Whiting, our audio engineers, with Daniel Page and Meadow Smith, our video engineers, to keeping this bird flying. Big shout out to our assistant producer, Rose Inez Monty, and our program director, Adeline Fields, and our GM, Dr. Wilbur Martin. Don't forget to follow SM2 Media on social media. I'm your Tuesday Thursday show host, Skylar Angus Barker. That's all the time we have, but don't be a stranger. We'll be back tomorrow at noon for our regularly scheduled Southern Miss Today. See you then, and stay Golden Eagles.